Alrighty guys, we're back for some colorless jank, and this is a Phyrexia all will be one standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? I also called it Never Finish Quests, right? Because it's all colorless. We have 4 Spectrum Sentinels, a 1 mana 1/2 protection from multicolored. Whenever a non-basic land enters the battlefield under your opponent's control, you gain 1 life. Okay, not a bad artifact creature at all. Mechtitan Core, kind of what the deck is based around here. We got all 4 of them. It's a 2 mana vehicle. For 5 mana, you can exile Mechtitan Core and 4 other artifact creatures and or vehicles you control to create Mechtitan, a legendary 10/10 construct artifact creature token with flying, vigilance, trample, lifelink, and haste. That's all colors. When that token leaves the battlefield, return all cards exiled with Mechtitan Core except Mechtitan Core to the battlefield tapped under their owner's control. So you'll be able to get like all the ETBs back once the Mechtitan dies and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool at least, right? So Mechtitan has all colors over there. I don't know if we've actually made a video on the Mechtitan Core before. I feel like I have, but it must have been so long ago, like when the set first released. But yeah, anyways, what else do we got in here? We got 4 Patchwork Automatons naturally working with all the artifacts. We got 4 Reckoner Bankbusters in here, just a powerful vehicle that keeps our hands stocked. We have 4 Zenith Chroniclers here. This is a 2 mana 3/1, and whenever a player casts their first multicolored spell each turn, each other player draws a card. So if you're up against like Grixis or something, this could be very powerful, honestly. I'm looking at Bloodtooth Harvester and Corpse Appraiser in the Grixis builds, right? Every time they play one of those on their turn, we just draw a card off of the Chronicler. Sounds cool. But mainly this is in here just because, you know, it's a 3/1 artifact creature. You know, it can crew up the Reckoner Bankbuster. I think it's actually pretty decent. And obviously it's not going to do anything with that ability if you're up against mono black or mono red. But I don't know. There's still a lot of decks that are rocking multicolored spells. So we'll see. We'll see. We got 4 Atraxa's Skitterfangs, and this is a 3 mana 2/2, and it enters the battlefield with 3 oil counters on it. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may remove an oil counter from Atraxa's Skitterfang. When you do, target creature you control gains your choice of Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, or Lifelink until end of turn. This is actually really cool, huh? It's too bad it's a 2/2, so it does get picked up by cut down, but you know, nothing in this deck gets hit by Go for the Throat, so that'll be nice at least. I think giving something lifelink could be absolutely huge if you're up against aggro and stuff, so I think this card's going to be solid. Got 4 Circuit Menders. This is a 3 mana 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 life, and then when it leaves the battlefield, you draw a card. So this really works well with the Mechtitan Core, because if you activate the ability and use Circuit Mender as one of those artifact creatures, then it's leaving the battlefield. So you do get to draw, and then whenever the opponent inevitably kills the Mechtitan, then you get the Circuit Mender back and you continue gaining life, and hopefully you can do the Mechtitan Core on another time, right? 4 Thran Spiders. Honestly, probably the best creature in the deck. 3 mana 2/4 with reach, blocks a ton of different stuff. I just brought up mono red. Yeah, Thran Spider blocks really well against mono red. When it enters the battlefield, you get a Power Stone, which is very important because 5 mana to activate the Mechtitan Core is a lot of mana. Which actually brings me to the mana base real quick, guys. We do have 24 total land, and I'll go over the individual lands in a second. Our 4 mana card, Scrapwork Cohort. This is a 4 mana 3/1, and whenever it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. Now, I went over the cards in standard that could possibly go into the build, and I don't think I missed anything, right? Let me know in the comments. What I was looking for here was an artifact creature that also generates another artifact creature. So 2 artifact creatures for the price of 1 was what I was looking for. I don't think I missed any. I think this is the only one in standard. So yeah, I think it's actually going to be pretty solid. Because we do need the 4 other artifact creatures, and this produces 2 of them for us. Has the Unearth ability here for 2 and a white, and we have no white sources in the mana base, but Crystal Grotto does generate a white source if we need it to. Not too worried about the Unearth on the Scrapwork, though. So yeah, we got all 4 Crystal Grottos because scrying sounds good. Blast Zone is the only removal in the deck, which is super sketchy, and I'm worried about it, but we'll be fine. I mean, it is going to be a janky build overall. We have 4 Mech Hangars here to be able to power up our Bankbuster whenever we need to, right? But it does cost 3 mana to do that, but I think Mech Hangar will be a solid one. We have all 4 Mirrex here because it does generate artifact creatures in the mites. We have all 4 Mishra's Foundry. When you power this up, it is in fact an artifact creature. So I mean that's something, right? And we have all 4 Monumental Facades as well to be able to plug extra oil counters into our Skitterfang when it comes time. That's the mana base, guys. Literally, that is just way too many rares, isn't it? How many rares is in this deck? This is nightmare fuel. Oh my goodness, that is a lot. Oh my goodness. As far as jank goes, over half the deck. Woo! Put this one on the do not craft list, guys. We got some honorable mentions over here. Yotian Frontliner almost made the list. It's a very powerful artifact creature, and honestly, we should consider it. Especially since, like, if we do add more white sources into the mana base, being able to unearth this for 1 mana, maybe you'll have enough then to activate the Mechtitan Core. Where is it? I moved everything around. Yeah, maybe. So Yotian Frontliner. Filigree Silex, like I said, Blast Zone is the only removal in the deck, and I'm super scared to actually only play the Blast Zone as removal, so Silex is something to consider. Mightstone, Weakstone, same concept. But now we're getting into the expensive territory, and then you're going to kind of want to shift the entire meaning of the deck into more of like a mid-range style. So yeah, no Mightstone, Weakstone this time. Speaking of mid-range style, Platoon Dispensary with like the Mechtitan Core sounds really cool. We might want to try that out sometimes. If you're interested in that deck, let me know in the comments. It would be probably like mono white and then just a bunch of artifacts to work with the Mechtitan Core and then the Platoon Dispensary. Okay, Hall of Tags in here didn't make the cut for the land, but it could be good, especially, yeah, if we do need those extra white sources, so something to consider. And then the Mycosynth Gardens, I mean, yeah, this is another one. It could potentially tap for one of any color, but I don't think it's going to do a whole lot with that bottom ability. Not in this deck in particular. And I kind of wanted to be fancy with the deck and have 4 of everything. I never get to do this. Like, just literally 4 of every single card. It looks pretty cool, huh? Okay, guys, enough rambling. It's a relatively simple deck. We're just going to be slamming out creatures and hoping that the Mechtitan Core can finish up the games for us. We'll see. Honestly, there's a lot of draw power in the deck too. I'm super interested to see if this is actually going to do a thing. So let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. Okay, let's see if we can get into the first match here. People's decks can be pretty brutal, so what am I expecting from this list? I'm not expecting a whole lot. I am, however, expecting to have a little bit of fun, so... Man, that actually took a second to find a match there, huh? Alright, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Okay, solid first hand, I would say. Let's keep it. Dreamroot Cascade. Let's get that scry. Scrapwork Cohort. Alright, yeah, we'll keep that. We'll keep that. We do have the 4 mana required in hand, and it pairs beautifully with our Mechtitan Core, which we might be able to pull off in our first game. That would be awesome. Okay, get the scry from the Crystal Grotto. Another Mechtitan Core. Man, that is so slow. But yes, we'll keep it. It's not like we have a ton of 1-drops in the build, so... Let's go Bankbuster over the core. I think that's completely fine. And then next turn it's definitely Thran Spider, so we can start with the Power Stone ramp. Okay, well... Let's go Foundry. Thran Spidey. This has to be like protection open, right? That's what I'm assuming. Yeah, Thran Spider blocks so well. Okay, Rot Priest hits the board, and we could probably block. Hopefully they don't have anything that boosts the Storm Chaser Drake, but it could be like a giant growth or something. Yeah, the Rot Priest is scary. Hivar Stand, that's right, that's a card that they run. Crap. Well, Thran Spider's out of here. They got to draw off the Drake, we do get the poison. Was it still worth the block? Maybe. Do these decks run all 4 Hivar Stand? They probably do, huh? Okay, Scrapwork Cohort can hit the board. Or we can just double down on the Mechtitan Cores, which could be fine. We could also go Mechtitan Core and actually go the Skitterfang too. That makes the most out of our mana, since we have the Power Stone. Ah, the Ledger Shredder. Ah, that's fine. I mean, we still want to get as much down as possible, right? Next turn we'll have 6 mana available to play the core number 2 in the cohort. Decline. See what the opponent does this turn. If it's like Rot Priest number 2, then we are in danger. It's going to be Combat Research. Nice. Yeah, they're going to be able to filter through their decks so well here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even if we get the Mechtitan down and somehow it's safe, we're still in danger. Okay, they get to draw because of the combat research here. They have 4 mana open and their Power Stone. Passes back to me. It must be a bunch of protection, I'm assuming. Blast Zone. That's pretty good. Blast Zone is really good. It makes me wonder if I just take the turn to get that up to 2. We have to be ready for a March of the Swirling Mist, though, because they can just phase stuff out then, too. Okay. We're going to start with the Scrapwork Cohort here, playing around potential counterspells that I don't think these decks run. Mechtitan Core number 2. Oh, Ledger Shredder, get out of here, Ledger Shredder. Get out of here. We still play everything though, right? I don't think we want to hold back just because of a potential... Well, they get to filter. Next turn we can power up the Mechtitan Core. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, if we can do that first turn here. Target creature you control gains your choice of Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, or Lifelink. So we can target itself. Is that even worth the risk, though? No, it's not. It's not worth the risk. I changed my mind completely. Because if we swing in and... Like, I guess we could go flying. Get around the Rot Priest that way. Yeah, alright. Well, we'll get a swing in. We could have powered in Bankbuster too if we were really going for it, but I think overall, I guess we could have powered up Bankbuster and given that flying, actually. That could have been cool. Yeah, we should have done that, honestly. We should have. Oh well, that's fine. We can always power up Bankbuster to block, I guess, potentially. It's only 2 damage, opponent. You're fine. Everything's fine. Just 2 damage. Don't you? Oh no, it's a shore up, guys. I should have known. I should have known. Hopefully they don't take everything from us, because we're going to need all of this now to power up the Mechtitan. I should have known it was going to be a shore up. You guys were probably yelling at me. I've ran right into shore up multiple times on video now. Uh-oh, Rot Priest number 2. Honestly, they could wrap this up with a full-powered March of the Swirling Mist, and they might draw into one here, so let's see it. I hope not. I would love to power up a core before they do that. I would love to. Oh, they pass it back to me. That's good news. Oh, Circuit Mender. And March of the Swirling Mist is definitely the big thing here. We could activate Blast Zone to try to get rid of the Rot Priests. What's the fun in that, guys? Let's do this. Let's do this. So, wait. How much mana do we need for this? 3 mana? Okay. Power up the Mechtitan Core. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4. Couldn't click on the Bankbuster for some reason. There's no way. Like, they have to have something. I'm still looking at, like, that, yeah, just a simple March of the Swirling Mist. Target all their creatures. That's fun, though. I'm glad the opponent at least let us have our 10/10 Mechtitan. And I could have played that out a lot better, too. Because, like, I didn't have to swing with the Skitterfang. I could have powered up Bankbuster, which would have been pretty scary overall. Tameo safekeeping. And as far as, like, playing it out better, like, the Blast Zone to hit the Rot Priests would have been ideal, right? Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number of charge counters. So we do that. They would have protection with safekeeping for one of the Rot Priests. And then Shore Up does not give Indestructible, right? They get a draw here. Let's see, Shore Up gives Hexproof and then you untap it. But yeah, once they double down, so they would have protected one Rot Priest and then they wouldn't have drawn because they would have had to use the Tameo safekeeping. Yeah, GG opponent, that's pretty brutal, man. That's a brutal deck to go up against first, and do they have it right now? They have the coast open. Actually, yeah. I love how they didn't even have to worry about the Mechtitan. I love that, because at first I saw the slip out the back. I was like, yeah, slip the Mechtitan out the back. Don't worry about the damage. But yeah, no, they just target their own creatures for the Rot Priest. Woo! Brutal first match. That's okay. You gotta have some kind of match first, and that just happened to be the match. We got the Mechtitan on the board. That's what's important. We saw a lot of just better lines of play too. You know, they could have easily saved their Rot Priests, though, if we activated that. We don't know how many of the slip out the backs they drew, though. Off the Drake is the thing. So I guess it depends. I guess it really depends. Because a lot of times when I go up against those Simic builds, it seems like they struggle. Especially if they don't see the Rot Priests too. Call me crazy, I'm gonna keep that on top. We get another Scry next turn too. And I don't mind seeing the mana here, especially one that can produce us mites. Okay, and let's get another Scry. Mishra's Foundry, I guess we'll send that now. 4 mana is enough for now, especially with the Thran Spider. We'll attempt to swing. Goes through, get the patchwork down. This is a really nice curve here. Yay! Life. Bankbuster. Get the Mirrex down, doesn't really matter. Before combat, we'll go probably Thran Spider over the Skitterfang, right? A little bit of ramp. Do it before combat to give Patchwork a boost. Hopefully, let me think. Mono white mid range. I guess do they have artifacts? Oh, Destroy Evil takes care of the Thran Spider. I mean, they have the Roadside Reliquary. Draw a card if you control an artifact. Draw a card if you control an enchantment. Is it just Bankbuster? Lay down arms. Okay. They're cleaning up our board. Wait, really? Oh, they missed a land drop. Aw. I would have loved to play that one out, though. We had a lot of great stuff to do here, right? Because Patchwork number 2 is about to come down, and then the Skitterfang could have come down on the same turn since we ramped with the Power Stone. Like I said, man, the Thran Spider is probably the best creature in the deck, hands down, just because of that little bit of a boost to be able to play multiple stuff on the same turn. Both of the Patchworks were going to get a boost. Patchwork having the ward too was probably their decision to actually concede from missing the land drop there. But they didn't know we had the second one either, so I would have loved to play that one out. But yeah, I understand. If you miss a little bit of tempo sometimes. Well, we'll see what opponent number 3 is bringing to the table here. I really liked the curve of that last game and like how the order of things that we were about to play out too. See, this is a much worse order. I don't think this is necessarily a mulligan hand, though. I think we keep it. And we'll start with the, oh, hello, opponent. Sentinel. Starting with the Foundry is fine. It doesn't really matter. The mana, oh, gonna give us a run for our money right out the gate here. Sounds good to me. Nothing on this turn, but at least Circuit Mender gains us some life next turn. Had to double check to make sure Sentinel wasn't an assembly worker. Okay. Swift Spear is a 2/3. Nice. Circuit Mender kind of sort of blocks well, but it depends what they have in hand here next turn too. Oh, Patchwork would have been so good last turn. Oh no. We should keep all the blockers back possible, huh? Yeah, even though Sentinel probably chumps here, we know how aggressive Mono Red is right now. I forgot to mention this while going over the deck too, but technically the Mirrex can tap for the white source for the Scrapwork Cohort. See what we draw. Crystal Grotto, not bad. We get the Scry. I'll chump. I think it's completely fine to not take 3 here. Then again, next turn. Crap, now I'm thinking. Yeah, we chump because they could find more burn. Monumental Facade is fine. Crystal Grotto, get the Scry. Patchwork is pretty decent, man. Multiple Patchworks getting onto the board, if we could actually use them properly. I mean, I don't really know what else we would look for anyways, so let's get some more chump blockers down this turn. The plan here then is to go Patchwork into Circuit Mender next turn, but we might just double down on the Patchworks too. Yeah, Mechanized Warfare. So I was thinking about that last turn with the block with the Sentinel. But then I thought, well, if they just have more burn, then everything's getting through anyways, so Because, yeah, they still have a mountain open. It could just be a play with fire, too, so. Alright. Nice. We actually got a Swift Spear out of the equation. Facade hits the board, and we're going to go Patchwork number 1. Circuit Mender to block is better than Patchwork number 2 right now, unfortunately. Makes me wonder if I should have just sent it, but that's fine. If we see a land off the top, we could go Patchwork and the Scrapwork. Squee! Nice! We don't get to see Squee too often anymore. Oh, that's right. It's doing the extra damage from the Warfare anyways, so let's trade with Etching, get the Squee off the board, and we're still taking a ton of damage here. We're holding up nicely, though, let's be real. Oh no, another Cohort is pretty bad, though. I do like the Bankbuster. I guess the Cohort number 2 isn't too bad. It's just the fact that we can't do anything else on our turn. And I would love to start boosting these automatons, but this is fine. It blocks really well. They can't bring Squee back from the grave yet. Soon enough, though. Mechanized Warfare number 2. Might double block that Swift Spear. Nope, they got some burn. Okay, we should chump the Swift Spear then. Because we can't take 6 damage from it. So we're taking 2 from the Goblin. Wow, actually, I'm shocked they didn't hit our face with the Lightning Strike. That would have been 5 damage to our face. We would have had better blocks on the board, but... Crystal Grotto, let's get that Scry. Honestly, we're holding up, man. We're holding up beautifully. Patchwork. The more creatures, the better, because now they do have enough to bring the Squee back. And our Patchwork is just going to end up dying again before we can get it to a place of, like, where it's actually safe. Oh, they just top deck another Squee. Nice. Yep, honestly, I haven't seen Squee too often. Swift Spear, we get to take that out. Get to take this out, get to take the Squee out. We're taking 2 here. Down to 2. This has to be mono reds, right? Has to be. We have Foundry. They're going to bring back the Squee next turn. If they top deck like a mountain. So we could bring back Cohort to get a 1/1. That costs 4 mana to do that, though. The Mirrex tokens can't block, so we're just, like, on the run. Bankbuster can be powered up by Mechtitan. Sorry, Mech Hangar. That costs 3 mana. I don't see a way around this. Do you guys? If we bring this back, it costs 4 mana. That would have given us a 1/1. The Squee's gonna close it up. Powering up Foundry? We just don't have enough mana. Oh, unless... Nope, that wouldn't have worked. Wait. Actually? Sorry, opponent. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna draw. Had to use my timeout there. Okay, yeah, so either way, I don't think we were gonna get enough creatures onto the board to stop the Squee onslaught. So I think the best bet there was just to draw off Bankbuster to see if we saw anything, right? Which I don't think we would have, so... Yeah, GG opponent, man. We were on the run, and we needed to be able to block 3 creatures there because we were so low. And I don't think I saw a way through, because, yeah, the Unearth would have just gotten rid of the Scrapwork regardless, so we would have just been left with a 1/1 for 4 mana. Powering up the Bankbuster costs 3 mana. Powering up the Foundry costs 2 mana. Yeah, I hope I didn't miss anything. We have like so many lands that do stuff. There's so much to pay attention to there. All right. Let's get into another match here. Hopefully a couple more, honestly, because I want to keep playing with this deck. There we go. I want to keep seeing just what it's capable of. Like, I think that could have gone a lot of different ways. And I loved the Squee edition. Like I said, I haven't seen Squee too often outside of my own builds, of course. Because I love squeezing Squee into my builds. Adaptive, okay. We'll start with the Scry. Circuit Mender is probably an alright thing to have multiple of against Gruul. I think that's fine. Sentinel gains us some life against some Gruul cards, so... Not against Firebrand, though. Hey, another red card we don't get to see too often, actually. No blocks. Let's get the... Blast. No, let's get the Mirrex down, actually. Won't let them know that we have the Blast Zone yet. That's another start of a match where we missed our 2-drop, which seems a little bit awkward because you'd think we would have our 2-drops in hand since that's what we have the most of in here, but Radha's Firebrand doing an amazing thing here, and it's going to take the Circuit Mender out of the equation too. This is a 1, 2, and a 3, so Blast Zone is particularly bad as well. Thran Spider is going to be taken out of the block equation as well from the Firebrand. But Thran Spider is probably the best bet. So that way we can just do more on our turns, right? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I was thinking, because we could put a charge counter on Blast Zone and try to take out the Firebrand next turn, but that doesn't seem very good, does it? Lightning Strike the Sentinel, take the Thran Spider out of the equation, hit for 9, and we are in danger, guys. Oh my goodness. Whenever a non-basic land enters the battlefield under your opponent's control, gain 1 life. Did we get any life from that? I wasn't paying attention. They have the Rockfall and the Gorge, but I think the Gorge was their first play. Firebrand takes the Thran out of the equation, and we take 6 damage here. Bankbuster was a good draw. So they can take Circuit Mender out of the equation. It's too bad we can't double down, play 2 of these. We could go Blast Zone, take out the Adaptive. Costs a lot of mana. Go Bankbuster, Circuit Mender. And we're back up to 6. They take 1 out of the equation. So if they have removal, I guess we could power up Bankbuster. Let's see what they do. We are on the run, guys. But that does mean we'll probably have time for another match. Oh, Devastator. Woo, buddy. Oh my goodness. Man, why don't we see Firebrand that often anymore, guys? So they take the Thran out of the equation. We're taking 4 in the air regardless, so we're dead. We're dead regardless. Let's power this up. And I guess block the Firebrand. Good game, opponent. That is scary, scary business. Holy cow. See if we can get a better curve, right? Because I feel like the deck has a lot better lines of play than what we saw there. Could have potentially mulliganed. I don't think that was a mulligan hand by any means, though. What do you guys think? Let's see what we see. I'm honestly just happy we get to get into another game here. Maybe we'll get to actually get the Mechtitan Core and get the Mechtitan on the board again. It's such a fun card, man. It's such a fun card. It's too bad that the first game where we did end up getting it out, it just didn't matter because of the poison. We got the core. I think this is a good hand. We actually have a 1 into a 2 and a potential 3. We have 24 land in here, so I think we'll be fine to actually see our third, especially if we can start drawing off the Bankbusters too, which is probably what we end up playing. Yes, good. Gain me some life. Oh no, it's going to be control though, isn't it? Nice, let's get that Scry. Sentinel? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's actually pretty good. Mechtitan Core over Bankbuster? Super silly, but yeah, I'm going for it. Let's get that core down. It's a terrific double block for the opponent, so we're going to keep the Sentinel alive here. Yes, all the life, Sentinel, all the life. Celestis? Could be a cut down still. Mirrex will hit. Circuit Mender. Just go like Bankbuster Sentinel. I'm a little bit concerned about potential board wipe next turn, and we're gonna have to be 1, 2, 3. We don't have enough mana to actually get the core rolling. A cut down doesn't hit the Mechtitan Core anyways. They only have 1 mana open, and I would assume they just chump this. No, they take it actually. Nice. Down to 22. And hey! Sentinel's ability. I don't know how much it matters, but it's awesome to see. We didn't get to see our 2 mana card that does a thing whenever they cast a multicolored. Wow, March on my Bankbuster? I feel like that's a little bit insulting to the Mechtitan. Yeah, they didn't want us drawing though, it makes sense. 2 mana open. Blue is in the build. Yeah, what the heck, we'll try a swing again. We'll attempt it. Oh, nice. Back down to 20, and let's try to get Circuit Mender on the board. I'm sure it gets countered. It does not. They had nothing. Okay. Well, technically would have been a little bit better to play Circuit Mender than crew it up with that. I love how Sentinel... Oh my goodness. Yeah, honestly, for the last match here, I would love to see our two drop that we didn't get to see today too. But if we could just get a Mechtitan down. Maybe I should have gone Bankbuster that turn. Wow! I mean, ask and you shall receive, I guess. We asked to see Mechtitan Core one more time before the end. We have all of them in our hand now. Oh my goodness. We can't really swing into a Wandering Emperor well. Could just put a counter on the Blast Zone. Let's attempt the Bankbuster. We really, really need to see land or a form of mana, like a Thran Spider or something. Because we have what we need. Now we just need the 5 mana for the core, and then the opponent to not have removal, which literally March of the Otherworldly Light is perfect removal for the Mechtitan Core, isn't it? Because I'm pretty sure that, well, the Mechtitan, I mean. Pretty sure it's 0 mana, right? So yeah, we're not swinging into an Emperor or a potential Emperor. Could swing with these guys, though. Because we would draw if they exile the Circuit Mender. So we might draw mana, and then we could play the mana, and then next turn we could draw another mana, and then we could play that mana, right? So that would be 5. But now we won't have enough artifacts on the board. Hey, we did see that mana though. And we can actually play Mechtitan Core number 2. So yeah, nice. Hey, we might actually be able to spawn another Mechtitan this game, guys. I'll tell you what, man, the meta's been all over the place. This is video number 75 of me bringing that up. Not actually, but still, like, I've been bringing it up a lot. I have no idea what to play against, because half the time, yeah, it's not even half the time, it is all over the place. It is either heavy control or aggro, and then we are running into mid-range, but I'm not having any issues with mid-range. I feel like we've been winning a lot of matches against the mid-range builds, like mono-white mid-range and all that. Wow, just look at the planeswalkers over there, guys. Oh my goodness. Come on, mana off the top, let me spawn that Mechtitan. Let me spawn that Mechtitan, guys. Come on, mana.
Got new moves to teach you.
Come on, mana. No, my soul. We're gonna be in some serious trouble here in a second, guys. They're gonna get to untap. It's daytime right now. We definitely want to play something. Alright, we're gonna go for the draw. Well, yeah, they have great blockers. Their planeswalkers are definitely safe. Yes. Okay, we're set up for next turn. Monumental Facade. I'm gonna send it. It's too bad Blast Zone enters with a charge counter, so we can't just hit the tokens with this, you know what I mean? We'll go Bankbuster number 2 instead of the Mechtitan Cores, and I feel like we could have drawn a little better today. Look, man, I know this deck was janky, but I don't know, I just feel like there was a lot more potential for the build. Especially with, like, patchworks and stuff. Alright. We have the mana for the core. Is the opponent actually gonna let us have the core, though? Like, it would have been perfect that turn, because they were tapped out, so we would have actually gotten a really cool swing with it, at least.
Strike fast and
It does have trample and everything, so we would have been able to hit the Wandering Emperor. But now, they can search with Sorin, they can draw off of Kaito. No! March of the Otherworldly Light is what they saw with the Sorin, which means the Mechtitan Core is going to be gone as soon as we summon it. Oh no! Oh no, guys. Aw, man. That hurts my feelings. But we will get everything back onto the board, and then Mechtitan Core number 2 can do a thing, I guess, right? Yeah, they can pretty much fully tap out here, too. I mean, they want to keep the 1 mana open for the March, though. So that way they can hit this. Oh, they can untap with the Teferi anyways. Dude, this deck looks terrifying. This deck looks awful to go up against with any build.
What do we have here?
Nice, more life, I'll take it. I'll take it. Let us survive a little bit longer. Maybe multiple Mechtitans will be the key here. I'm looking at that Blast Zone, just really wishing we could clean up some things, but we get the Blast Zone to 4. Hey, there's the Zenith Chronicler. Man, that could have been drawing us so many cards. Yeah, so as soon as we power up the Mechtitan, it gets gobbled up by the March. If we can get Blast Zone to 4, which we can't even do this turn, then hitting those Planeswalkers could be good, but we have time. So if we get Zenith Chronicler down now... Because, yeah, we don't want to power up the Mechtitan when they have March in hand. It's much better, to me, to put 1 counter on this turn, and then 2 counters on next turn, and then we'll try to clean up these Planeswalkers. This is ridiculous, guys. Maybe we could get some draws on the Chronicler. Yeah, if we would have seen Chronicler earlier on, we would have drawn off the Kaito and the Teferi. That's it, though, so it's just 2 cards. They even held back the 4/5 flying lifelink. And they're at 29, too. Hopefully they start swinging. That way someone eventually can wrap up the game. Okay. They swing for 5. Wait, did they swing last turn? Oh, they untapped it with Teferi. That's right, that's right. I was going to say, that would have been a little bit silly. Then I had deja vu and realized that is exactly what Teferi does. It gives you deja vu. Okay, untap the 5/6. Untap the Celestis. They can tap a mana too, right? Guess it doesn't really matter in the long run. Draw and discard. How close are they to the ultimate? That's -7. Cycle the Rafine's Tower. That's a -7 too. They just generated another vampire with that. Honestly, the life gain off of the Sentinel might come in handy here. We can get that blast zone to where we need it to be. Ah, I can't believe the March of the Otherworldly Light is just chilling, man. Ah, man. Okay, another mana's fine. So we gotta put 2 blast counters on the blast zone. Which means we can't play a Mechtitan Core. Oh, it's so awkward, guys. Let's see here. I guess, like, Mirrex was a possibility, too. Generate some of our own tokens. This is ridiculous, man. Let's put 2 blast counters on. I think I'm taking the best path, but at the same time, there's probably no best path here. Let's think about nothing because they have a 5/6 flying lifelink. We just have to pass and oh buddy. I would not be surprised at all if they had something in this deck to stop the blast zone. I don't know what it would be. I just would not be surprised. What would that be? Something that can hit a land? Kaya. Oh my goodness. Hey, we draw off the Chronicler. Oh my goodness. Zenith Chronicler. That was a struggle. Oh, a Sentinel. Oh crap. Oh, I wish the Celestis wasn't. Oh, it doesn't matter. They get to untap stuff with Teferi anyway. I got pretty excited there because they're close to tapping out. And at any point, if we can get the Mechtitan back on this board before the end of the video, then I would be very satisfied overall. I will take that action. Patchwork Automaton, that would have been good at the beginning of the game. At this point, I'm just going to send it. I don't really know what I'm looking for. I do know one thing, though. Blast Zone has to hit 3 of these Planeswalkers. Play a Soaring City. They have 2 mana open for now. Oh, putting all their eggs into 1 vampire basket, which is completely fine. This is where, like, the Sylex would have been really good. But at the same time, yeah, we'll talk more about Sylex in the final thoughts here, which we're about to be in. Oh, they're not untapping, but yeah, it's too bad they still have this mana open for the March. I'll tell you what, man. Like, hitting Blast Zone, hitting these 3 Planeswalkers, Kaito's a 3-mana card. Kaya's a 7-mana card. Oh my goodness, this whole game has completely melted my thoughts. My thoughts are out of here, guys. They have left the building. Control has done it once again. I think we'll let them actually finish up this game, though. They're getting great damage through. It's too bad. We've been like 1 mana behind for a lot of this. Clean up these 3 planeswalkers. We'll have 2 mana available. I guess we'll play... Patchwork. That's pretty good, man. Hitting 3 planeswalkers, but look at their hand. Like, they have everything they need. Honestly, I'm just, yeah, Patchwork. I was thinking, like, just play Mechtitan Core number 3. But I think it's still the Patchwork. They have great chump blockers here. But that shouldn't stop us. And we're at 14. They have 8 here. 10. You know what? If they have it, they have it. Let's full crew. Actually, let's not full crew. Let's crew for 2 and keep a Sentinel back as a blocker for one of the 1/1s over there. I think that's fine. And we're going to swing at Kaito. Well, we could get we could have them block with all of them, which is fine too, if they wanted to save the Kaito. Oh, we have to be, we can lose 3 life here. Ah, well. If we're gonna be losing 3 life from the Kaya anyways, then we're pretty much dead regardless, because that's 11 that we can't do anything about with the vampires as well. So, you know, yeah, I think it's fine just to go, oh, they're marching the otherworldly lights out of their hand now. And Kaito's dead, but we're dead too, so yeah, GG opponent. Good game, that was brutal, man. These control matches are rough. And there was, like, we could have technically gotten Mechtitan down at any time, but then it immediately got removed from the March of the Otherworldly Light, which, can I view the battlefield? There we go. That took forever for some reason. Flying, Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Haste. The only thing it's missing is some form of protection. And even like, oh, Ward 2 on that or something? Oh, buddy. Well, let's go ahead and go over the deck one more time. I feel like it could have actually performed a lot better. I know it's jank, but I really do think that there are some sweet lines of plays here. So, cards to consider, of course, we had it in the honorable mention. The Filigree Silex could have gone a long way. How many of them? I don't know, man. The problem is it doesn't work with the Mechtitan Core, because the Mechtitan Core needs creatures and or vehicles, and Silex is neither of those things. It is an artifact, it fits the colorless theme, so when you play it, it buffs the automaton, and you don't gotta worry about the mana at all, obviously. But just having another form of removal is probably pretty key, and then since we already have the 4 Monumental Facades in here too, that can really help buff up the Filigree Silex to where you need it to be for more removal. It's like I said when I was going over the deck, I was super sketched out about not having too much removal. Even against a control deck, we really needed some removal, and so the Blast Zone just wasn't enough there at all. But again, I feel like we could have just drawn a lot better today overall. I don't know exactly how much better we could have drawn, but we did see that one match where we had like a beautiful curve. I would have loved to play out that game. Zenith Chronicler, I'm like, the Grixis decks fell off the map. Where is Grixis, guys? Like, I was going up against Grixis every other game, for real. It was actually driving me nuts. I complained about it in many videos. The Grixis decks are gone. I don't know, man. I haven't seen them in a while, as far as I can remember. But if you are running into a lot of them, then I think Zenith Chronicler is going to get you a fair bit of draws. I love that it can easily crew up the Bankbuster too, and I just love that it's a artifact creature, so it fits the rest of the theme, buffs the patchwork, works with the Mechtitan Core. It's too bad we couldn't get more Mechtitans on the board. It just dies to everything anyways, except for Go for the Throat. It is an artifact creature, and obviously Cut Down doesn't hit it too, so against Mono Black, Mechtitan actually might be pretty powerful. Too bad we didn't see a Mono Black matchup today, honestly. We held our own for a little bit against Mono Red, which was pretty cool. But I think we were on the run for most of that game. But overall, well, I don't know, man. I'd like to revisit this at some point and try to make it. I'm hesitant to say more competitive, but if we like ditch the concept of trying to do janky things with Mechtitan Core, then we might actually be able to put something a little bit, dare I say, aggressive together. But I don't know, maybe. And then if you're ditching the Mechtitan Core concept, then you could ditch like the Scrapwork Cohort, which was actually a pretty decent creature today, wasn't it? Like, this just wasn't bad at all. Didn't see enough Thran Spider. The extra Power Stone was amazing. If we ditch the whole colorless theme too and try to just have more ways to get more things done, like, you know, if we do add actual removal with actual colors, then the mana base would look completely different too. But now I'm thinking, but hey, enough rambling. This is a very long video. I apologize, guys. If you made it this far in, y'all are champions for real. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.